Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Marvelous Iggy Plays Shovel Knight. This time, it's time to go into the deep caverns and tackle the Mole Knight. So this is, I know how everybody kind of bemoans water levels, but I am not the biggest fan of fire. Even though one of my phobias is deep underwater oceans, go figure. But there's something about fire levels that, at least in most games I've played, can be the most annoying because of, disappointing platforms or like lava or, just lava's just not fun. Lava's not fun. In anything, Mole Knight's level isn't really of a fire level, but it's the closest you're gonna get to in this game. As I struggle to go through the menu system, which, by the way, this is the first part that I'm playing on the Nintendo Switch version. Thanks to a good friend of mine for Christmas, I was able to buy this game and it was on sale, which is good because I wanted it for King of Cards for Switch. Because I own this game officially now 3 times, and I want anybody to post in the comments how many times you bought this game, because I guarantee you most people own this game at least once. Because I initially bought it for my 3DS because that was my primary gaming platform for a while. And then when they bought it when they announced the Wii U was getting a physical collection, a physical edition, I bought that because it was $20 and like, why not? And actually has a manual in it. Like, that's the cool thing. Like an old school like mid 90s manual. It's actually pretty cool. It's one of my favorite possessions. This enemy, I hate this enemy. Screw this enemy. It's hard to kill. Just ignore it. Don't be the dumbass like I am and try to wreck it. But and then I bought this game because I really wanted to buy this when it first came out for Switch, when it was a quote-unquote launch title for the Switch, when they rebranded it as Treasure Trove, but it just never happened. And thankfully I was able to still play like Spectre Torment for free because I had the Wii U versions and the 3DS versions to play. But at some point, like, I wanted to have it all on my Switch, and it feels good. I mean, systematically, it's not gonna look any different. It's Shovel Knight, it's not gonna change that much, but it's so fun to be able to, like, instead of having 2 separate save files, like, to play my 3DS and then come home and having to start over on my Wii U file, it's not fun. Versus here, I can play it on the go and then put it on the TV and play it in glorious HD, and it's awesome. Right here, we get this little beetle who has this green blob stuff that's a sort of your glimpse at a future mechanic where you can bounce on it, constantly bounce on it as long as you hold down, or I think you just bounce it automatically. Never mind. Yeah. It's been a while since I record these parts and doing the audio, so, yeah, this part, like, Mole Knight's not one of my favorite stages in this game, just because I feel like there's a lot of annoyance in this. It's just, there's constant, lakes of lava. It's just not fun to traverse. Visually it looks cool because, again, I like the in-depth backgrounds, how you can see further into the cavern. It has a really cool aesthetic to it, and I love how you can tell it's not just a cavern, but it's like a ruin, so it has that cool vibe going to it. By the way, if you're wondering why I try to jump over that right there, it's because the way it's drawn, to me, it looked like it was a pit, like there was nothing holding that up, and lo and behold, it's just a bridge that looks really tiny, which those exist in real life, which I think at one point, like a couple weeks ago, like I went down this YouTube rabbit hole. And, like, first it was like amazing, fascinating bodies of water, then places you don't want to swim, the BuzzFeed shit. And then, like, it led me to, like, the 10 most dangerous bridges to not drive on. And, like, I want to believe all this stuff is real. Who knows? This could all be doctored. I don't know why I'm taking so long with this. Like, there's no real point. I think I'm trying to... Yeah, see? I don't know why it took so long on that. But, like, there's some crazy-ass bridges, man. Like, I think there's one, like, in Pakistan that's, like, super long and it's, like, super narrow and it's clearly falling apart. But because the other option to take you either take that bridge and get the other town quicker, or you go all the way around and, like, it's nuts. It's crazy. And this is the gimmick. We have these exploding blocks, these TNT-S blocks. They'll explode upon contact. So, just, and again, that's what I like about this game, is that it will introduce a concept, and then it'll introduce the concept again with a slightly different gimmick, and then it expects you to master that concept, and usually it's never too difficult. Like, once you see that concept once, you're gonna understand it, for the most part, if you're competent at least. Me, not so much. And there we go, we got another note. Nothing too spectacular here. I do love. I'm not gonna lie. I love doing the pogo on this in this game. Doing this animation right there. It's just so satisfying, whether it's killing an enemy or like, bouncing off bubbles or these enemies to get to other areas. It's just so fun. It's so simple. It's just literally holding down. That's all you're doing, and it's. I love doing it. This is the mechanic I was talking about. Obviously, over a pit of lava. You don't like the game will trick you to doing. You know, if you're holding down, you're gonna hit that and you're gonna die. So don't do that. And of course, trying to trick you here, you hit the top one, and then that'll leave you with a stable platform, and you'll be able to advance to the next area. You know, pretty simple stuff. Also, I love this soundtrack because it's like very energetic. Like it's not like something I would think of in a cave level, honestly, but it's still very cool. And we're gonna get the gauntlets in this one, I think. Yeah. Hello, Chester. Chester's back again. Yeah, these are the Dust Knuckles, which. I love that name. That's such a badass name for a weapon. And this is basically what you allow you to do. They allow you to hit these particular blocks, and they allow you basically to stay in the air as long as you keep hitting the blocks. And it's similar to the pogo. It's so satisfying to do this. Thankfully, it's not like a mechanic where, like, say in Twilight Princess, the spinner top, where it's so fun to use, but it's so limited. The game does a good job of letting you use this mechanic to its nth degree, at least to me it did, to get to secret areas. It's super fun. And I just love how Chester's just sitting here. Like, I guess he's just gonna go back. Like, Chester's just gonna chill. I do want to know, and like here's the green stuff we saw earlier with the beetle, allows you to infinitely jump. I want to know where this stuff is coming from, because as far as I know, the game doesn't explain it. Like, part of me, like, until I play the game, I guess I won't know. But part of me wants to believe it's like Spectre Knight doing some shit. Not Spectre Knight, Plague Knight. You know, like in his game, maybe he does some shit in this level that causes it to go green, because it looks like not an alchemical change, but like a chemical change. You know, that's causing the lava to act this way, to become a solidified state, and then you bounce on it. Oh, I just got all sciencey on this bitch. Oh, at least it's science here that I can get. But now we get into, again, more. Again, you can see in the background, you can see clearly we're in the ruins of a lost city. It's so cool. Like, again, it doesn't really matter to the overall world of Shovel Knight, but, like, I love the world of Shovel Knight so much that I would not hesitate, like, say, if Yatka Games put, like, a compendium of like, the lore for the game, you know? Like, I would buy it. Like, where does you know, what was this Ancient Civilization? And I know it's probably a little too much for a 8-bit game like this, but what can I say? I love world building. Like, world building is one of the coolest aspects of video games, especially when done well. Like, I just finished beating Hollow Knight not too long ago, and it does such a great job world building. And so does Shovel Knight too. Obviously, it's more toned down than Hollow Knight, because the point of your adventure is to save you know, Shield Knight from all this. But I love the little attentions to detail. They don't have to do this. They don't have to, you know, go the extra mile and make it like this. And I think I'm gonna die right here. Yep. I died because I did the thing you shouldn't do. Don't pogo down this level. You will die. But thankfully, doing that, it allows me to go to the secret area right here and get another musical note. And again, if anybody's done it, because I'm too lazy to look on YouTube myself, you know, what do you get when you get all the notes? I think, like, is it literally just like more money? Because by end game, playing the game naturally, you're gonna have the more money. I think it just might be like a bragging rights kind of thing. You know, where like I did something, you know, it's just like an old school feature. It doesn't really do much, but hey, have at it, you know. I think I'm gonna just let this guy die. Yeah, like, screw you, bitch. Haha. I didn't get to talk about this earlier, but I love the design for these huge ass these big ass enemies. Like, they look like Roman gladiators, especially with the design of the helmet and their big ass weapons. Like, part of me thinks is like they're part of this subterranean race they're the guardians of this race that used to be here, and you know, Shovel Knight, this Receive Invader, which is like, well, how the fuck did Mold Knight pass you? Or maybe they're just Mold Knight's cronies. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. But who knows? I could be completely wrong. And here we are, another another chance to use the Dust Knuckle just to get more money, because And I love that animation. I'm sorry, all the gems. Sorry, it's late. You know, floating around you while you had the invisibility. It's so cool. Like, I'm surrounded by cash. 877 cash now. If you remember that, you're an OG. Or actually, no. Maybe it's... Actually, you know how I know you're an OG? Is if you remember the Sears commercial about the air conditioning. That's how I know you're my age, if you know that shit. Why don't you call now? I'll call now. Like, that's just embedded to me. I used to mock that when I was a little child. Fuck these enemies. I hate these bird things because they're so hard to kill. They're so ridiculously hard to kill, and they're not fun to deal with. And then, like, they have serious... And, of course, the game already has serious knockback because of course it does. Also rip this poor beetle. Ah! You can see his little legs just like, no! You murdered an innocent. How do you feel? I think we're actually coming up on the boss fight, which, again, this is not too long a level. It's not as bad as other levels, you know, as other fire levels, in my opinion. It's welcome. And here we have Mole Knight, who's immediately using puns. I already want to kick your ass. Yeah, and even Shovel Knight just as the ruins. I actually like that. But I like his design because, you know, obviously he has the knight sort of retainer, but then you see, like, he's, like, thick, like a mole, and then you have the big claws. But he's a pretty cool boss fight. He's going to dive from left to right like he's fucking Vega from Street Fighter 2. Which, by the way, if you played Vega in Street Fighter 2, you know what I'm talking about. Then he's going to do this little thing. Very easy to dodge. Use the gauntlets to get through this. Don't do how I'm doing where I'm just jumping over. Although you can, as I just saw. It's a perfect strategy. Then he's going to spew fire. He's invincible while he's doing this, so don't try to approach him like I'm trying to approach him. Like I'm being a dumbass. His patterns are pretty predictable. He's far from the most difficult boss. He just can be annoying because of how much stuff he throws on screen. He's not fun to me as I punch the shit out of him right there, doing my best JoJo impersonation, like ora 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 ora, you know. Yeah, and then here he's gonna get into the mole. You can tell it's him by the visor. I clearly didn't, obviously, but that's how you could tell. That's the pile you need to dig up. And again, don't attack him during that. But I take the damage. And yeah, and then I love this, his little fucking mole children come and pick him up. But yeah, that's Mole Knight defeated, which is really cool. Not the most memorable level in this entire game, but definitely a fun one like most of the game is. And now we're back at the campsite. Like, I want to know, like, the Shovel Knight, like, cuz like, does he go to the same place every time? Or is it like just, or is this like, this world is so full of forest he just parks right wherever, you know? Actually, you know what? I would actually watch a Shovel Knight cartoon. Like a legit Shovel Knight cartoon, like all ages. That'd be awesome. Like the Adventures of Shovel Knight and Shield Knight, and the origin of the Knights of No Order or No Quarter. And I don't know why I'm taking so long on this. But I guess I forgot I was playing the game and I didn't edit this part shorter. So yeah, that's an extra 30 seconds wasted. But yeah, that's Shovel Knight down. Or not Shovel Knight. That's Mole Knight down. Again, sorry, it's late. We got another Wandering Warrior coming up, but I think now we're going to go to town, and I think I'm going to pick up a hat or something? I don't remember. Again, it's been so long since I've done this. Like, this is the weird thing about doing post-commentary, is that, like, I tend to record in bulks, so I don't always remember exactly what I'm doing. And then when I come back and, because what I should do is I should rewatch the footage and study it and like, oh, okay, do this and this and this. But like, yeah, I don't get paid for this. Fuck it. Although I do love this because as we saw in the other town, we had the frog who just spits nothing but puns, and then you got this guy who's just like unimpressed as fuck. He's like, nope, I'm sick of your shit. Like, and he just walks away. You know, he's just like, I am sick of your shit, son. They're pretty funny. They're pretty well written. If you like puns, I don't like puns that much. Like every time, there's a buddy of mine who I know who works with me, and like he'll just say a pun every now and then, and I'm just like, God damn it, man! Like it's just because like, and when I say God damn it, it's like you fucking got me, and that's clever, but God damn it, I hate puns. I think I'm trying to get that note. This is the reason why it's what I'm doing right there. But yeah, this is a secret boss fight right here, as we're going to find out. You actually, and I'm going to demonstrate it momentarily, you actually have to talk to each of these individual people and pay them off so they can leave the room. You know, and I don't know, like, I did this because I knew it was in the game, you know? And I think it's supposed to be that old school mentality of like, well, what happens if I do this? You know, like, do I, like, I probably thought I would get something, maybe secret armor, or, like, a new weapon, or something. That's probably why I did it initially, because nobody told me anything. And then this fucker just wants to fight you, you know, for no goddamn reason. Like, well, actually, no goddamn reason. He wants your hat, or your helmet, like, and I don't know if he means to, like, rip it off or something, but, like, no, you can't take my fucking helmet. And by the way, Shovel Knight has a badass helmet. Like, it's such a simple design, but the horns and the blues, and it's really cool. And this is, you know, he actually has his own little, looks like a old school, like, not colonial, like Russian hat there. And then now he has like a I don't want to call it the wrong thing because I don't want to offend people, but you know what it is. He has very unique hats. I think they're supposed to give him different abilities as he changes, because you can tell he's more of a swordsman kind of thing right here, and then when he has the other hat, he throws magic cards. But he's kind of a joke for a boss fight, as you saw. He's not really hard at all. Although I say that, and I look at my life bar and I'm like, oh, right. That's just because when I play these games, I just go like, well, eventually I should have enough health more than you, so I'm just gonna just tank you. You can't be that bad. And sometimes that works to mitigating success. What do I know, right? And then he's just off, and the shop is just there. As far as I know, you do nothing else in here. Just like, so if you're going 100% completion, you have to do that. I like doing it because it's fun. Like, it's simple, it's right there. Usually I have the money for it. But I think we're getting close to the end. I think I'm going to do one more challenge before we call it. Yeah, I'm going to fight this wandering... Oh, no, this is not the wandering warrior. This is, like sort of another bonus area, as I called it in previous parts. Except for some reason, like, it's using Spectre Knight assets, which... Or not, yeah, Spectre Knight's stage assets, rather. And I find that really weird. I'm like, why? Like, we're next to Mole Knight. So why not use something from his? And I only say that because I don't want to fucking deal with this dark light bullshit. Like, I don't need to deal with this. Like, this is nauseating. Well, not nauseating. It's just like, I hated it there, you know? I don't want to deal with it now. But this is pretty short. Again, you don't have to do this, but it's there, so you're gonna do it anyways, just to get more money and you're gonna need more money, especially with a certain upgrade that's coming up right now. And again, this game is very generous with this money. You just don't die too many times, otherwise you're gonna lose your money. Although there is a way to mitigate that, and I'll explain that with you in the next part or the part after. Again, I don't remember all this stuff. It's hard to remember. But it's short. I hate this section, though, because we're going to see this guy, and it's over a bottomless pit that you kind of can't see, at least towards the end. So be careful when you're fighting this section. It's not fun. Or it's not that it's not fun. It's just very, very risky. You got to know where you're standing, especially that section right there where you can't even see where, like, the platform is. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all for the next part. And remember, no matter what, stay marvelous. Have a good night, everybody.